the journals, art projects, organized planner sheet.
Well, hello planner babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my awesome Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, this is part 3, the final part of our second project of our spring planner DIYs. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more, or tell you again about the sponsor for this series a little bit later in the video. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you 3 different ways to go about making craft folders for your traveler's notebook or a planner as well. It doesn't matter if it were a ring bound or something like that. Of course, you would put the holes in there, hole punch it, but basically it's the same idea. So you're going to take this first way is when you don't have a template at all. You just have a traveler's notebook or a planner, and you know you want a craft folder that fits this size. So what you're going to do is take an insert or take a page from your planner, and you're going to use that as a reference. So you're going to fold your 12 by 12 craft paper vertically in half, or I guess it doesn't matter, so 12 by 12, so it'll be the same either way. Then you're going to put your insert or your sheet or whatever you're going to use that measures the size that you need inside of that folded part. You're going to just kind of peek it up in there in that opening to see where you want to mark where to cut your paper, and you're going to trim it, which is what we just did. Then you're going to need to make sure you have a pocket that's the size that you want. So you want to kind of measure, eyeball. I'm just using some other craft folders that I've made in the past as a reference about how high I want my pockets to be. So I've made all those in the past, and now I felt like I wanted it to be just about halfway, but maybe not quite the height of the insert that I'm using as a reference. That's the size that I want. And then I'm just folding up the paper to that point and using my bone folder. So I've already got my crease for the pockets inside because I folded the entire 12 by 12 in half. And so now I'm just using my bone folder to really press in where that pocket is. And I always use it to press in on the back as well. So now I need to make sure that I trim the top to match the height. So I'm just using that as a reference. And anytime I've folded again this project for different purposes, then I use my bone folder again. I make sure that the edges on the unfolded part line up, and then I just use my bone folder again. So now I'm just putting the insert, in this case, on top, and then I'll take my pencil and mark where the top is, and then it should be the right size. I can already tell, I've already checked that it's the right width. So I'm just using my paper trimmer and trimming it right there. And of course, you always want to check as you go, make sure everything is right. So now I'm using another craft folder that I've made in the past to kind of look and see how I want my pockets to be. So I'm looking at a couple of them and seeing about what I want that design to be like, and about how much space is between that center fold and where the pocket is. So I'm just marking that about the height that it looks like it is on the other one, and then just putting a little diagonal line for the shape of the pocket. So you want to do that while it's folded up. Then you unfold it and you unfold the bottom, the pocket, and then you leave the folded in half part vertically that way, if that makes sense. And then I'm using a bunch of binder clips just to hold it in place. And so then I'm just going to cut along where I drew that line while it's folded this way vertically, and that way it will just cut the other side perfectly identical. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but the other pocket will be exactly the same. So see, there we go. We've got 2 identical pockets on either side, and I'm just erasing some of the pencil marks that I had on there. And see how easy that was? So then I always like to cut the corners from the fold of the pocket there in the center, because with traveler's notebooks anyway, it doesn't wear down that paper over time from the elastic, and I've been doing that for years. And then I take my Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape, which I love. If you're not familiar with my channel, I love this stuff. So I'm just using that and putting it on the outside of each pocket, the left in this case for this one, and the right side for the next one, and then just the very bottom to close the pockets up. And then I'll just remove the double-sided tape after I get it all on there, like here. And then you just want to pull it up and make sure that the sides are lined up with the pocket and the side of the craft folder. And then you don't really need to press it with the bone folder. I just like to do that because I love using a bone folder. And then I always be checking to make sure everything as you go is right, so you don't have to recreate anything. So that was the case if you don't have a craft folder at all. That's the one we just did, and you want to make one that fits the size of your traveler's notebook or planner. What I'm doing right now is creating a template. So this is if you have a craft folder already and you want to create a template so that you can continue to make your own craft folders for that same size traveler's notebook or planner. Okay, so now we folded a 12 by 12 sheet in half, and now we just placed the craft folder that we already had on top, and then just marked where it is on the top and the right, or actually I think we just did on the right. Yeah, and so then we're going to sit it on top and then mark where we want it to. Actually, we're not going to mark it yet. I was getting ready to do that. Oh, I didn't mess up. Thank goodness. I have messed up in this video though. And now we're going to measure 3 inches above that, which is about the size of our pocket, so that we have the full length, because we need all of that because the pocket is already closed up on the traveler's note or the craft folder that we're using to help us create this template. So yeah, so we added the 3 inches there for our pocket, and then you just want to put your existing craft folder on top while it's open, just like you see me doing here, and then we're going to fold up the pocket right up against where that I keep wanting to say traveler's notebook, where that craft folder is. And now we've got the pocket for our template at the right height. Okay, and now what we need to do is just look at the other craft folder and kind of estimate or measure. You can use your ruler and measure the height of that little bottom part, and then just draw a little diagonal for the other part of the pocket. And now we're going to do just like we did before, and we're just going to use some binder clips, well, after my bone folder, because y'all know I love it. We're just going to use binder clips to hold everything together, and then we'll cut that part in the middle, and that'll be the only other cut that we have left to do. And then our pockets are already ready. It's already folded, and we don't tape this because we're going to use this to make more craft folders. And now look, it's the same. Okay, so now this is the third instance. This is when you have a template. This is the best way to use it. So go ahead and tuck the vertical folded 12 by 12 inside of this template. So the template is opened up, you tucked it inside instead of sitting it right on top. And now you're just outlining the whole thing, and then you will just have 2 cuts. Well, I guess maybe 3, depending on how you look at it. But you'll just cut up on the right, cut off the top, and then you'll cut that inside part, like we did before. But it is so much easier as far as this part goes. Just lining it up and figuring out what the outside is and what you need to cut is really easy with the template. And then we have everything ready. I didn't line it up perfectly there on the right, but it's not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. Now this part is not as easy to me when you have a template, because lining it up and folding it perfectly along the line right there in the center is not the easiest thing to do. So I recommend that you just fold it gently and not press all the way down until you know you've got it exactly the way you want. And then that one's done. So if you feel like your template is working, it's exactly what you need, then I recommend that you mark or write on there which size template this is and what type of planner it's for. Yeah, so now we've got 2 craft folders, and this piece I cut off camera. I apologize for that, but I'm going to use it as a template for the other craft folder. So what this is I wanted to be able to have a piece of paper that I could slide inside of the craft folder that I could change out, because this paper that I used for the craft folders were only printed on one side. They weren't two-sided. So I thought I'll just create something that I can slide inside there that I can change out, and that'll be really cool. It'll be decorative, but I can change that design in the future if I want. So I just used one as a template and outlined it and cut it out. Now, because we've got the double-sided tape in there, I can't slide that sheet of paper through the entire thing and the back, the white part, be all covered. So I just decided to take a Tombow dual brush pen, Tombow dual brush pen, and color the sides a color that would go with what I'm sliding in there. And there, see how cute that is? Yeah. And so I think it's better to just leave the paper flat and then fold it inside of the craft folder, and you know everything's lined up, which is what I'm doing right here. Just make sure you line up all your edges on the unfolded side, and then just smooth it all down there. And there, so that's an interchangeable. And of course I did the same thing on the other one. And you want to go ahead and cut into your opening where the extra sheet of paper that we just tucked in there is slid in there, and then everything will be nice and neat. Yeah. And so I just did the same thing here on the other one, and I just need to cut the little corners. And then I've got two inside interchangeable craft folders for this A6 Traveler's Notebook, which is continuing from parts 1 and 2, so be sure and check those out if you haven't. And I think they look so good in here. Can you believe what we have done with this $1 Dollar Tree Traveler's Notebook that was just a plain, or a cover, plain in the inside, and two plain inserts. All right, so now we just got those all tucked in there, and I think they look fantastic. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to just kind of add some color. Well, first we want to tuck this one in. I forgot we made two. I need to tuck this other craft folder in here. Okay, now you look good. Yes, you do. Okay, so before we continue, I want to tell you guys again about the sponsor for our Spring Planner DIY series, which is the awesome Emerging Green. They're a wonderful company. They blessed me with these wonderful garden cloths, and I'll show you guys a little bit of our garden, more of our garden at the end of today's video, right before the end screens. And this company is the same company that sent me the set of three what is the word I'm looking for? Eco-friendly planners, eco-friendly spiral notebooks that I gave away one. And I'm going to put here on the screen for you guys how you can get these and how you can use a coupon code to get a discount through the end of June. All right, I think I can talk again. I just got a little tongue-tied there. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is just to add some color to the inside of the Traveler's Notebooks, because remember, these were just plain when they came from Dollar Tree. In the last video, we added some paper and color to the outside, and then this time I just wanted to add some color into the inside of the front and the back cover. So I used some craft paper that I had from the craft folder that we used earlier, and then I just found some extra scraps in my stash for the other, oh my goodness, I don't know why I can't talk today, for the other insert. So of course I'm using my Dollar Tree double-sided tape to put on there, and I'm just tucking it inside, really tight inside around where the stitching is, so that you can't see at all what it used to look like. And we've got a nice little border from the way we did the outside last time. And then this is the blue that I'm using in the inside covers of the other inserts that I had in my stash. And then I just like to use my bone folder around the binding part just to help it lay down a little bit better, so it's not just sticking out so wide before you put it in the Traveler's Notebook. And now they are all ready to go, covered with beautiful color on the outside and a touch of color on the inside. And so here is this one as well. I think that blue looks really, really good. All these beautiful colors for spring, y'all. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to add some pockets to my dashboards, which I made these dashboards off camera. I had them in my stash of DIYs that I did before, but I want to add some pockets to them. So I'm using some Dollar Tree greeting cards, and I'm just trimming it to fit. Now I kind of measured it, eyeballed it, where the size that I needed the pockets to be, and it wound up being too wide, so I'm going to have to trim that here in a little bit, or yeah, after I laminate it. Yep, I make mistakes, y'all. So here I'm just putting some printer paper in the background, because sometimes when I use my paper trimmer on the greeting cards, I guess because of how thick they are, that it gets a little messy. I don't have a clean cut always, and even using aluminum foil doesn't fix that for some reason. It does when it's just regular paper or regular cardstock, but not when it's greeting cards. So anyway, so I cut one out, and then for the other greeting card, I'm just using the piece that I cut out for one pocket as a template for the size of the other pocket. And that way I know what I need. Okay, so now I'm using my new laminator. My old Scotch laminator died on me, and so, well, it stopped working right. Something I jammed in there and would not come out. And so I got a new one that's supposed to be heavy duty. It is a little bit wider, so it's harder to jam. So I do appreciate that, and hopefully it will last me a long time. So I'm running it through the laminator twice. I just like to do that, or 3 times, I think. I like to do it 3 times just to make sure I have a good seal. And then I'm just cutting around the outside of where it was sealed. And now I discover, oh, I didn't think about how I was going to have that extra, and it's too wide. So I'm just going to trim it, and it was sealed well enough on the side, as far in as I had to go, that it didn't come apart. I'm not worried about it at all. It's really good. So that worked out. So now I'm just going to round the corner on the inside for my pocket. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape to put it on the corners. So this is the other pocket, but it's the same process for both of them. And I'm just lining it up at the bottom and on the right side, and then the other one I lined it up on the bottom and the left side. Or no, I didn't. I did on the same side. I'm doing it right now. Okay, so now they are both done. See how easy that was, just to add a little laminated pocket to your dashboards? You guys, you have to do this. It is so cool. All right, yes, you're all in there. And now we're all done. We are completely done, you guys, with this entire project. 3 videos, and I am so stoked. I think it turned out really well. It's been really fun and creative. We got the tassel there on the left with the charm and all of the wonderful beads. That was really fun. It turned out really well. At first I thought the tassel was too fat, but now I think I'm really feeling it. So I'm happy with that. Of course, we added our little charm that we made using some charm jewelry pieces and a Dollar Tree sticker that had the layers with the mounting tape. And I think that looks fantastic as well. We've got our green duct tape pin loops that I wound up just stapling. I did glue, but I didn't want to wait for the kind of glue that I had for the front pocket, so I just stapled it, and I went ahead and stapled the one in the back so they look the same. And then here we've got our little doodads and our clear pocket that we made out of a sheep protector. Yes, you guys, isn't that awesome? So we've got in the very back just the piece that we cut out of a greeting card. And then we've got our little heart right there we cut out of a greeting card. So we're going to go ahead and look at all the pieces. So there is the pocket in the back. You can't tell if everything's in there that there's another layer or a couple of more pieces of the permanent double-sided tape to make sure it stays well and lasts forever there. And then there's the bookmark, which was super fun, easy to make with some embroidery thread, a Dollar Tree greeting card, a hole punch. Be sure and check out parts 1 and 2, you guys, if you missed it. Then we just taped. We cut out another little piece from the greeting card, the little gift there on this dashboard, and just used some masking tape to put it on there. And then there is the left side of the dashboard, the front of our first craft folder. So pretty. I love those colors. That's from a paper pack I've had for a long time. And there's the inside with our pocket and our little interchangeable paper. And then there's the insert that we covered with really nice paper, outside and inside. There's the other pocket. It's so pretty, you guys. I'm so happy with how all the colors came together. And then there's the other dashboard with a pocket, you guys. Yes. Well, while you continue to look at everything else, I want to thank you guys so much for being with me for all three. If you haven't checked out the first two, check it out. But thank you for watching today. Thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic. I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways and we try to stay in touch just about every day with all different types of posts. Then the local group is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ on Facebook, and we meet in person once a month. We got back to that finally because of COVID, and we're going to meet at the end of this month of March. And then if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, everyone, happy planning and enjoy these videos of a little bit more of our garden life.